The beta function is a non-elementary function which we defined for ourselves because we can't evaluate its integral representation. However, it does have a really cool relationship with the gamma function, and the gamma function, as you may know, is one of the generalizations of the factorial. So, if we restrict the input of the beta function to the positive integers, then we can actually evaluate it in terms of the binomial coefficients. And this binomial coefficient representation is what the focus of this video is. So if you don't know what the beta function is or the gamma function, or for that matter even if you don't know what integration is, you can still understand this video as long as you know what the binomial coefficients are. Looking at the integral representation for the beta function, you may notice that we can actually expand the 1 minus t to the power b in terms of the binomial coefficients, and then all the integration reduces to is simply the power rule and we get the summation. Looking at how we got to the summation representation, it's pretty clear how we can reverse all the steps and go to the binomial coefficient representation of the beta function. However, if you didn't have the context of integration and you just were given the sum out of the blue, how would you evaluate it without using integration? That is the crux of this video. Before we get to evaluating this sum, however, I'd like to introduce a simpler sum which we already know how to evaluate. The trick to evaluate this sum is a pretty standard way to evaluate sums with the binomial coefficient, so I won't go over the details, but you can figure it out on your own. Using this trick, the sum becomes really easy to evaluate. As you can see, however, this trick clearly does not work on the sum we are after. So what we'll do is, with a bit of algebraic manipulation, we'll take this trick to the extreme. MPR, by the way, is the number of ways of choosing R objects from a set of M objects and then permuting those R objects. With a bit more algebraic manipulation, we are finally ready to substitute all of this into the original sum. You may notice that we have now converted one binomial coefficient into two binomial coefficients, and although that may not seem so helpful, notice that the denominator which we have in this case is actually the same as the denominator which was supposed to be in the answer. So we know we are close. The way we'll go about evaluating this sum is by showing that replacing b by b plus 1 doesn't change the sum at all. And since we know that putting 0 in place of b gives the answer as 1, that must mean that the answer is 1 for all b. Evaluating this sum is left as an exercise for the viewer. But don't worry, if it seems too daunting, I'll leave 3 hints at the end of the video. Make sure to leave your progress in the comment section to help others out. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching. This video was part of a collaboration with the Instagram page Curious Math. If you want to find out more about the beta function, head over to the link in the description to find their post. If you want to see another way to evaluate this sum, check out part 2 in the series by clicking on the hover card or checking out the link in the description.